This is Dispatches from Myrtle Beach with my son Link from Good Mythical Morning. How you doing, son?
I'm doing so good. I'm doing so good to still have you in person for this episode.
Still showing we're in person. I mean, this pretty neat. I really like this.
You want to just move out to LA?
No, I'm not moving out to LA.
I mean,
but you can fly me back and forth like, every 2 months, and we can just record some, and then I fly back, and but I do like this.
I mean, this trip it's pretty spur of the moment.
Oh yeah.
The way that it kind of happened was the team wanted you to do some stuff for Good Mythical Evening.
Yep.
And they were going to record the silhouette thing, and then it just kind of got too technical, and so they were like, what if we flew him out? And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. They were like, well, I don't know. We don't know what type of impact that has on your family. And we were like, well, honestly, when Dad and Nana come out, it's they just get with the flow. You know?
Yeah.
We kind of, because we had so much planned, like we're getting ready for Lincoln to go off to college, and so it's leading up to that, and it's leading up to Good Mythical Evening and all this stuff. But
Lando's starting back school.
All this stuff was happening at the same time. But we were like, if it were anybody else, maybe most any other family member, it wouldn't be as easy. But y'all are so go with the flow. You just kind of get in, and you're just along for the ride. And you understood that, like, hey, you were here for work.
I did. I reiterated that to a lot of people. So,
what is your impression, having basically shadowed me, for 3.5 days?
Well, it's kind of like my work. There's a lot of things that people don't see that I do to make stuff look good in the end. And there's a lot of stuff that y'all have to do, and all the people that work for y'all and with y'all, and because, that's one of the impressions I've got. You would say that y'all have a lot of employees.
Yeah.
But I have looked at it with what I've seen this week, because there's a lot of them, that they don't work for y'all. They work with y'all to make things work for what y'all do. So that's what I've got out of it. And then, of course, and y'all have
So you don't feel like an employee either?
No, I still don't.
I have a way of working my magic where you feel like you're not an employee, but you are.
Yes, I signed that little dotted line. Me and Rhett talked about that a little bit.
Right.
But
I'm glad to hear you say that. It's more of a team mentality.
Yeah, that is. And then what you and I do, I might have been a little apprehensive, to start with, but now, hell, it's just fun.
Yeah, and you see how, what was your impression of like a work day for me?
Well, between, I guess, me seeing that where I think Jenna does all this scheduling and stuff, and where you got to be here at this time, and Rhett's got to be there too, or that he's got to be somewhere else. It's pretty hectic sometimes. That, and then when you see
you saying we work hard?
Well, I don't know if hard is the work, but you're diligent at what you do.
Okay, all right, I'll take it.
And I guess that's.
You don't think I work hard?
Yeah, I guess you do. But when I think about working hard, sometimes it comes into, like when you were growing up, it was more hard work was manual labor. Yeah. But mental and physical work, when you have to do mental stuff, it can be just as draining as.
That's right.
Doing, because
my brain works so hard.
Yeah,
I may not have to take a shower when I get home, but I feel like I've earned my keep.
Probably still be a good idea. Because all the running around y'all doing, all the things you're doing, but hey, this has been fun. And all your besides Logan, all the different things that I've done here, it's been a blast.
Well, Dad, I got to say, I was pretty impressed with your stamina. I mean, we had 2 full days of work before the weekend hit. But and you stuck with it. I kept saying, hey, this couch is good for napping, and this other couch is good for napping. And all you would do is a sit and a lean back nap. You wouldn't do a fully commit lay down nap. You're always ready. You're ready for more mythical entertainment.
And as y'all see when you watch Good Mythical Morning, but they did some, y'all need to keep up, because boy, they did one special episode that I got to watch, that I sat and watched them tape, and it's something y'all need to, all you dispatchers from Myrtle Beach, y'all need, if you don't tune in to Good Mythical Morning, you need to start tuning in, and because this thing is out of this world.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was something. So
I didn't witness any of it.
Because it was dark.
Oh, don't give away too much now.
But you need to look in on that. But
you did good though. You were a hard worker. I'm gonna keep you on.
Okay.
What else you got?
Well, we did a thing where we had a podcast
review
to give us some stuff where we would give if the winner wrote in something about the show, and give us something about it, we were going to give them a shout out.
Okay,
about doing all that,
right?
And
a podcast review, on Apple Podcasts.
That's right. Okay, thank you.
So did we get some good reviews in?
We got a lot of heartwarming submissions.
Okay.
That came in and looked.
Your heart was warmed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Well,
you warmed Dad's heart.
You have a lot of people that
they were trying to win a holler out there.
A holler out. Well,
you bribed them. Your heart can't be warmed too much when you're bribing them, but
well, I mean, you got to get people to participate when you bribe them, and we did that, so that made me feel pretty good about it. But we had, and the all of y'all out there that's watching Dispatches, you always have to pick at least 2, and we picked 2 winners, and you'll know who you are. And the first one was 7 in Heaven.
Congratulations, 7 in Heaven. Let's hear the review.
And it says, Dispatches from Myrtle Beach, your weekly linking with the Lincolns.
Oh, weekly linking with the Lincolns. Even though it's every other week now, we'll still take it.
Yeah. Your quarterly, monthly news with the Neals gets a taste of the sweetest and sometimes disturbing stories from jokes from both coasts with this father and son duo soapbox.
Oh.
These hometown Carolina barbecue bites will make your week with their discussion. Bites. Yeah, barbecue bites.
It's barbecuties.
Barbecuties.
Oh, okay.
Hometown Carolina barbecuties. Yeah, that's us, Dad.
Okay. Oh.
We're the barbecuties.
These hometown Carolina barbecuties will make your week with their discussion of flabbergasting jokes, answers to life's most burning questions, and maybe if you're lucky, a tip from a painting color master.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's a good one.
And I reckon
7 in Heaven.
Yeah. So,
now hold on. That says runner-up, so this is second place.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So now we got to go on to the grand prize winner, and it was Wow There Chloe. Is that right?
Yeah, Wow There Chloe.
Wow There Chloe. Both Charles and Link saved me and my family and my 2 cats, Newton and May, from a burning building. They are amazing.
Yeah, we did that.
We did.
Remember when we did that? We both, together, you and I both, saved them and their family and both of their cats. You grabbed all the family, and what did I get? The cats?
I reckon you got the cats. Yeah, so.
I got one of the cats. I think you got all the family and one cat, and then I just got the other cat. You did most of the work.
Well.
I want to give you credit for that.
Well, I'm glad we could do that for you.
And we definitely did.
Yeah, they said we did.
And yeah, we'll never forget it.
We'll never forget it. No, we're not ever going to forget. You know, when you save somebody's life, how can you ever forget that?
Never. You couldn't. And if there's cats then involved, sometimes it's hard to forget a cat anyway.
I'm telling you. Sometimes it's hard to, when something like that's going on, it's hard to catch a cat.
That's right. It wasn't easy. That's why that's the only thing I did was catch one cat.
Yeah, but you did a great job.
Thank you, Dad.
You know, hey, you got to have some help in a situation like that. So, there, Chloe, we're glad we was able to save you and your family and the two cats. So, Newton and May.
And it's great that you talked about it in your review and didn't talk about the show at all. Because it's really the men behind the show that really make the show. And so the heroes that we are, I think once you highlight that, it's really all that's needed to make a good review of a show.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to try to point something out and just kind of just leave us in the background and it did good for you, then it helps, be able to know that we're doing what we need to be doing, like saving y'all from the fire and the two cats. So
exactly,
y'all, wow there, Chloe. Thanks for being the winner, and keep watching the show.
What did they win?
They won a holler out because we just hollered the name out.
Oh, you just won your prize.
Yeah,
that was it. That was your prize.
That was your prize because we talked about what y'all said and told that we did. So, it was a great thing to write in about, and just keep writing in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And only true things in the reviews, but keep them coming. The reviews help. Somehow in the algorithm, if you didn't leave a review, leave one. It needs to be completely truthful, just like the ones that we've read today. And preferably 5 stars, at least.
I'm having a hard time making sure all this was truthful, but I am glad.
But it is.
But it is.
Right. Right.
Yeah, especially when you say it is, it is.
Yeah, and you too.
Yeah, me
I remember.
too.
I mean, you smelled like smoke for 2 weeks.
I know what that feels like.
Have you ever escaped a burning building?
Yes. I had one burned down.
Oh, your house
My
burned
house.
down. Yeah, but you weren't in it.
I wasn't there to start with, no.
You showed up and it was burning down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a good day.
No, that ain't a good day.
Yeah, because actually we showed up later. Yep. Once you called us, Christy and I showed up.
Yep.
Yeah, that was not good.
Anybody that's been through that, I know how you feel.
Has he even told that story?
No.
Tell more of that story, how that happened. Like the whole context of the house and everything. It was an old house.
It was an old house. Part of it was built in the 1850s or 60s, and the rest of it was built in 1913, and it was just, there wasn't anything but wood in this house.
And you would talk about the work you did on it.
I worked on it for 2 years before we could move in it.
You basically remodeled it, but to the original specs.
Right to the T.
Like you even had to, I remember one time we drove over there, and you were fixing the footing. You were like leveling the house.
Oh, yeah.
And the footings were made of it was so archaic.
Rock.
It was just stacked rocks on each other to make the footing for the
structure.
Yeah, for the whole thing. So you had to shore all of that up and then rebuild everything around it. It was a really amazing restoration.
It wasn't quite perfect, but it was pretty darn close.
And then you lived there for a number of years before.
We finished and moved in it in 2002, and then it burnt down in January 2010.
And what was it like? Tell me the story of finding out that it was burning because you weren't there.
Well,
had you left that day?
I had left. I was going to Nancy's house. We weren't married, and she called me on the phone and told me my house was on fire.
She had heard from somebody else.
Somebody else was afraid I was in the house, and she was pretty hysterical.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
She got up with me, and when I turned around, and it was about 10 or 12 miles away, I could see it from the river burning.
The smoke.
The fire.
Oh, gosh. Because, the whole thing just kind of went up.
Oh, yeah. The people that came with the fire truck, and then there was about 6 or 7 inches of snow on the ground.
That's right.
Yeah. And they told me they could have been sitting in the driveway with the fire truck. They probably couldn't have stopped it anyway.
Even if they were there when it started.
Yeah, the whole house wasn't anything but fat lighter. And a lot of people from the South know what that wood is. I mean, and it's like when you want to start a fire with something, you can use it, strike it with a match, and it'll just start burning.
Uh-huh.
And it's hot.
Was it an electrical thing?
That's what they never... They come in and investigated it and did all they could do. The state come in and everything, and they didn't... They think that's what it was from in the hallway, something that started it from the hallway.
But that's a devastating thing to happen to you, especially when you've poured so much blood, sweat, and tears, your heart and soul into this thing. 2 years of just renovating it, and then, you really enjoyed that house. I
love that place.
So, how did you... Were you in shock at first? How did you deal with it?
You really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just something that, and when you had friends like I had, because I didn't have no more clothes except for what was on my back, and people from where we were going to church, and they brought me clothes, they brought me money to make sure I could go buy some clothes. They did a lot of stuff. And, that made it a lot better.
What's the lasting effect that has on you? Because, do you start to feel, I don't know, it's like you could have post-traumatic stress from something like that. Like,
I come to the realization, and I had some people come that had been through what I'd been to and lost their house burnt down, and I had tried that years along. I had some friends that their house burnt down, and I went to help them and do stuff for them. So, I'm not the only person that happened to.
Yeah.
So it's just like anything else in life, sometimes you eat ice cream, and sometimes you just in the dirt, not knowing what's going to happen.
Right.
And then when you see...
You know how to empathize.
Yeah, when you see what happened in Hawaii.
Right.
At, what is it?
Lahaina.
That, I don't even know how them people feel.
Right.
Because
it's the whole town.
It's everything. And, it was just one little place where I lived that you can start all over again. But just to let them people know that, I know it's hard, but it is where if you want to, if the good Lord looks after you, can start all over again.
Yeah.
And look after it. So.
Well, that was a worthwhile tangent.
Mythical Beast, it's time to get your Mythical Society blanket hoodie. They're green and super fluffy. Join Third Degree quarterly or annual by September the 30th. To get yours, head to mythicalsociety.com for details. It's time for another edition of Myrtle Beach Mailbag. We got some Myrtle Beach mailbag this week, and we got an email from Jonathan. And this will help get things on the lighter side.
All right, let's do it.
Please help. I struggle with social anxiety and have a very weird pizza order that I'm too embarrassed to say over the phone to my local pizza shop. Can you say it for me so I can play it back? Oh, Lordy. They won't even understand me, Jonathan. Can you say it for me so I can play it back whenever I want to order my pizza?
Okay, this is a good idea. I actually saw a TikTok of a guy saying, I figured out how to get my wife's Starbucks order right. And he goes up to the drive-thru, and then he plays the voice memo of his wife giving her overly complicated order. So I think this will work.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta say it like you're in the drive-thru.
Okay. Well, or over the phone.
Either one.
It's,
What difference does that make?
probably not any at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But, Jonathan?
Well, it's not John. You're not talking to Jonathan. You're ordering.
I need one large pizza with extra sauce on half, no sauce on the other, with just cheese. Cut up the pepperonis on sauce half with extra crispy, basically burnt onions, crust cut off. Man, that's a weird pizza.
Don't say that, because then that's going to be part of the order.
Oh.
Say, make it snappy.
Yeah, and make it snappy. I'm hungry. So get this pizza online. So one large pizza with extra sauce on half, no sauce on the other, with just cheese, cut up pepperonis on the sauce half, with extra crispy, basically burnt onions, with the crust cut off. That ought to work for you. I hope you can use this recording and use it when
You're going to have to edit that, but it's in there.
Yes. Everything that you need ought to be right there, Jonathan. So,
Jonathan, I relate to this. And you know what? No better man to ask to help you than Dad. And of course, he was glad to do it. But when I go through the drive-thru with my family, and if somehow they complain because like I'll drive up and I'll know what I want, and I'll be like, all right, we're pulling up. Y'all need to tell me what you want. And they won't tell me. And then we get up there and I order mine. And then they're like, the total, well, actually, I've got more. And then I'll be like, tell me what your order is. And then like they didn't hear me. Like, what? Wait, I have 4 more things. Okay? It's just going to take a second. And I'm like, tell me what you want. And then Chrissy's telling me what she wants just so I can repeat it wrong. And then each kid is, and so what I started doing was, I just roll down the window and I order my part, and then I say, and then she hollers across the window. And then whenever Christy's done, I'll pull up a little bit and I'll roll the back window down, and they can holler out their window and get it how they want it. And somehow I'm the bad guy. Like, well, your dad can't remember everybody's order. Well, no, but you're not telling me the order until we get up there. It's just like, at least give it to me ahead of time. It's like, when you go through a drive-thru with Nancy, do you order for her?
I probably used to try to do that, but I try, almost all the time now. I do like you do. I order mine or let her lean across and she orders hers, and then I order mine. And that's it.
So you help Jonathan out. First of all, that was almost a prank level of an order, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that this is an actual pizza order.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because it don't sound very good to me, Jonathan.
Yeah, but who are we to judge?
Yeah, eat what you like.
I couldn't believe on Ear Biscuits when Rhett was asking you all the things that I didn't like to see if you also didn't like them, that you say you didn't like olives. Because I remember whenever you would order pizza when I was a kid, you would order with everything on it. And I hated that. And I didn't have time to take issue with it. So I am now.
Well,
you used to like olives?
When I order a pizza, if it's got green olives, I'm going to tell them not to put on it.
Okay.
But a black olive, if it's put on the pizza and cooked, I can't eat it. And then sometimes I just pick them out and give them to Nancy.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we got another email from Cassidy.
Okay.
And here we go again. They want me to pronounce these words.
All right.
So we're gonna get started on this Cassidy, the first word is Gouda.
That's how I would say it. The cheese.
It's cheese.
Of the smoked variety.
And there's no more cheese than I eat, then that's probably good that I can even pronounce it.
Yeah, that's good.
Fajitas.
Aha, see? You ain't got him yet.
No. Oh, Lord. I don't even... Here I go.
It's like he's jumping off a cliff or something. Here I go. I'm about to say a word. I've never seen it before.
Cushus.
What?
Cushus.
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 Okay, yeah, that's better than couscous. Couscous.
Well, it looks like one word.
Couscous is little balls of pasta, I believe.
Okay.
It's like a Mediterranean
they
thing.
sent it in here and they didn't separate it up like it was 2 words, so maybe I don't know.
No, well, it's not 2 words. It's one
it's
word.
not?
It's just 2 syllables, Dad.
Oh, couscous.
Couscous.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Chorizo.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Chorizo?
There you go.
Okay.
I like chorizo, though. You know what this is?
Some kind of sauce?
Nope. Sausage. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
It's Mexican food sausage.
Okay.
Oh, it's good, Dad. You need to get some of that. You need to get some of that in the morning.
Okay, the next one is falafel.
Okay. Try emphasizing the...
Falafel.
Yeah, emphasize the middle syllable.
Falafel.
That's really close. Falafel.
Falafel.
It's like, how you feeling today?
Falafel?
That's how I remember it. I feel awful.
Oh.
Falafel, it's Mediterranean too. We ordered Mediterranean the other night. I didn't get any falafel though.
No.
All right, you got 2 more.
Taquitos.
That's right. That's exactly how you should say it. Yeah. That's right for you.
It is?
Yeah, that's right for you.
So
it's a little taquito. A little taco.
Oh, okay. Taquitos. I like taquitos. Yeah. And prosciutto.
Mm-hmm. You could put a little prosciutto on your taquito.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Prosciutto.
I'll take a prosciutto taquito, por favor. Look at that. Now, I would say prosciutto.
Oh. Okay.
But again, you shouldn't.
No.
Matter of fact, you should say all of them in an alternate way. So even the ones you know, let's go through real quick and just rattle them off. Make sure that you don't have any of them exactly right, because I think that's where we want to be.
Gordito.
Okay.
Fajitas.
There you go.
Conchizos.
There you go.
Chorizo.
Okay. No accent, though. Don't do that.
Oh.
I don't know what accent that was, but don't do that.
Well, maybe it's because it might have been Mexican. Let's say falafel. Prosciuttos.
Yep.
Prosciuttos.
There we go. All right. There you go. You win.
Okay.
You've won this contest.
Well, Cassidy, I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you, Cassidy. That was great.
If you tape this and want to use it,
if you want to use this as your like when you go up to the grocery store, like if you're doing like a grocery order, you could just play that.
Yeah.
And then they could
and see if they can figure out what you want.
Right.
Like everybody else is trying to figure out what I said. Well, I got another email from Gabby Billett.
Okay.
I recently turned 16.
Happy birthday.
And I'm starting to learn to drive. What were your experiences when learning to drive? Is there any advice you have or things you wish you knew when you were learning? Well, Gabby, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to bust your bubble a little bit on this, cause when I was 13 or 14, I learned how to drive.
13?
Yeah, but I mean, I was driving a tractor I could drive to pick up around the farm. And
Yeah.
learning how to drive like that. So, I never had to, per se, when I went to get my driving license, learn how to drive. Because I got a little story to tell you. When I had to take driver's education, and that was in 1968, we had to drive a 4-door Plymouth straight gear, and me and a boy that played basketball together, and then a guy that was, Collett Davis was his name.
Mm-hmm.
And the poor guy had never driven. He was a city boy.
Okay.
So they put me in the driver's seat, and Mr. Ennis was my driver's education, which was my basketball coach and my football coach.
Uh-huh.
And we were pulling out of Lillington High School, put me in the driveway, and I just put that thing in low gear and popped the clutch on it and just burnt the tires up on the car.
Okay.
And Mr. Ennis was looking at me like, oh, my God. And see, he had a clutch.
And was the other guy in the back seat?
Both of them.
Oh.
Of course, Bill McCoy, my other buddy, that we played ball, he didn't think nothing about it. But I think it kind of alarmed Collett Davis. But it kind of might have alarmed Mr. Ennis a little bit. But anyway, he stopped the car with his clutch and brakes and said, get out.
Oh, get out.
And get in the back seat. You will not have to drive anymore. I just hope that I'll sign your certificate that you took driver's education.
That's all you did?
That's the only time
I drove. You balled the tires a little bit?
And because, and Bill...
He said, I ain't putting up with this shit.
That's exactly what because he'd put up with me playing ball and stuff. So he and then and it was probably a good thing because poor old Collett could not drive.
Mm.
So after we got started, and the first time we were going out and he put him out to go on the road, he stopped the car. He didn't let me get back in the front seat. Had Bill get back in the front seat and drive back to the high school where they had these places set up where you could park and learn how to drive and go around.
Yeah.
And that's where he drove for the first 3 or 4 days. Collett did. Me and Bill didn't hardly ever drive again. Then he let him get out on the road. Mm-hmm. And there was one day we were driving down the road, and me and Bill was looking at one another, and he didn't turn the steering wheel. Collett I reckon he just froze and was going to run right down an embankment, across a ditch and something.
What?
And Mr. Ennis kind of looked over at Collett like, are you going to stop? And he finally, Mr. Ennis, did like he did with me, but just to stop us from going down in the ditch.
Yeah.
Hit the clutch and hit the brake and stopped the car before we got out. And he let him stay over there and drive, but he said, Collett, you got to turn the steering wheel.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, so.
Your story reminds me of my driver's ed because I had another guy in the car with me. They would drive to my house, they'd drive and pick you up.
Yep.
And then they would go pick up the other people. And so he would pick me up, and then I would drive with the instructor to Antonio's house, and then we'd pick up Antonio. And this guy, whenever he got behind the wheel, he was so slow. It was just like, and he was concentrating so hard. And he said, Antonio, pull over up here. I gotta get something from like the convenience store. And then the instructor goes in the convenience store, and Antonio turns around, and I'm sitting in the back seat, and he says to me, I think I finally figured this out. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, I figured out that if I line the front right corner of the car up with the white line on the side of the road, then that will keep me at the right place in the lane. I'm like, you're just watching the front right corner of this car the whole time you driving me around? I was like, you need to tell the instructor when he gets back in the car that's what you're doing, because all of a sudden I felt like
your life was in
peril
somewhere.
Yeah, I was in peril. I was like, dude, that's you. I was like, you need to be looking where you're going, man. You don't need to be like eyeballing the. I mean, you're not plumbing, you're driving. Damn. You don't even be looking at the corner. I was like, nah, man, you don't have it. Look where you're going.
So,
and that's the summer that I was working for you, because I remember the driver's ed. When I was done, we would drive all the way to where we were painting, and for that summer, and he would drop me off.
You got your license.
I got my license. I mean, I failed my driver's test because I didn't turn. I think it was when you're in the left turn lane and there's 2 lanes you can land in. You gotta land in the near lane, the far left lane, the corresponding lane, and I switched lanes, and I must have done some other stuff, but I didn't pass in Lillington, and I came back out to the car and I told Mom, I was like, I didn't pass. We got to go to Dunn, and we just got in the car and we drove to Dunn, and the same day I just took the test again. I was like, before anything gets in any type of system, I'm gonna take it over here, because this is where they said it was easier to take it in Dunn anyway.
Yeah.
And I passed in Dunn same day. I've been driving ever since.
Oh, I'm telling you, you can drive in L.A.
Gabby, we've helped you out though.
Yeah.
Don't line up the front right of the car with the side of the road. Look where you're going, and then actually use the wheel. I think that's what we've taught you today.
You'll get it.
You'll get it.
Everybody else in this world is pretty much, or in the United States anyway, has got it. But just good luck to you, and I hope
people can drive all around the world, Dad. Don't make this an Americentric thing.
They don't drive on the same side of the road.
No, not in all places.
No. Okay.
But people can drive.
Yeah. But listen, it's been really great doing this in person.
It has, hasn't it? This has been fun.
It's been great having all of y'all with us today. And don't forget to tune in next week for some other mini dispatches and everything that they've done here with me this week that they're going to be putting out. And hit that and click on those and follow the subscribe buttons for us wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. And don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, thank you.
Come on, bring it on.
Now, if you just moved out here, Dad, we could do it in person every week.
I don't think me and Nancy's moving for the beach.
Okay. Yeah, y'all have settled.
Dispatches from Myrtle Beach is
Yeah.
Dispatches from Myrtle Beach.
All right, that's fair. That is a really good point.
Yeah, so, But listen, if you got a joke, a question, or comment you'd like to share with me, email me at ratherbeshaggin53 at AOL.com. Just ratherbeshaggin53 at AOL.com. We can't wait to spin your world around again next time, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Love you, son.
Love you, Dad. We did it. Yes.